Next week, I'll be reporting on the State of the Union. But today, I'm happy to report that the State of the Union and the state of our economy is strong.
Joe Biden taking a victory lap earlier today after the latest jobs report showed the economy allegedly added an unexpected 517,000 jobs. But the Biden administration has been caught fudging the numbers before. Back in December, Philadelphia Fed issued a report saying the Biden administration overstated the number of jobs created in the United States during the second quarter by more than, just a million. Kind of a rounding error. So what are we to believe? Joining me now, editor-in-chief of TrishIntel.com and host of the Trish Regan Show, the one, the only, Trish Regan. Hey, lady. The White House defended that December report by saying that they were counting jobs that had returned from the pandemic, and that's okay. Now they're touting this new report. What should the folks believe?
Well, there's lots of revisions that eventually come out. But if we take this at face value and we assume it is what it is, I'm still not thrilled. And I'm going to tell you why I'm not thrilled. Yes, great. We added 500,000 jobs. We need to do that on a regular basis. But I'm not thrilled, Chris, because wages are not growing at all. And so a lot of traders may look at this and they're going to say, oh, this is perfect Goldilocks, right? They like it because not too hot, not too cold. Well, let me just tell you one thing. Goldilocks is a fairy tale. And the Federal Reserve and Joe Biden are living in a fairy tale if they think they're going to get this economy back to where it was with the policies they have been enacting. I'm happy, believe me, that we added the jobs. It seems we added. I'll believe it once I see all the revisions, et cetera. But regardless, if you don't grow wages, and we continue to have this mass inflation, which we still have, let's be very frank, the Consumer Personal Expenditure Index, which came out last week, that's still at 5%. So if wages aren't growing and prices are going up 5%, well, guess what? Everybody's losing out.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that. You took me right where I wanted to go. Biden says, hey, man, come on, man. Don't blame me for inflation. It was already bad when I got here. Listen to this.
Do you take any blame for inflation, Mr. President?
Do I take any blame for inflation? No.
Correct. Why not?
Because it was already there when I got here, man. Remember what the economy was like when I got here? Jobs were hemorrhaging. Inflation was rising. We weren't manufacturing a damn thing here. We were in real economic difficulty. That's why I don't.
Wow. A little bit of a fact check here. Inflation was at 1.4% when he took office. As you said, this guy's living in a fairy tale, or is he expecting us to?
I mean, I'm so glad you played that because politicians lie a lot. But that's one of the most egregious lies I have heard. And it is insulting to every American that heard it. And shame on those reporters for not doubling down, going after him for that blatant lie. You're right. We were 1.4% when he came into office. But you know what? He added a third stimulus check. And then his Congress spent all kinds of additional money. And by the way, he's not done. He still wants a $10,000 or $20,000 grant to every person who may or may not have graduated from school, with their degrees in gender studies. I'm sorry. This guy has it all wrong. He has single-handedly, along with the Fed, created the inflation that we are living with today.
Mm-hmm. Amen, sister. Last thing. The Biden administration is promising a softer economic landing than we were expecting, considering today's jobs numbers, and the Fed only hiking up interest rates, a quarter basis point? Do you think that the indicators are telling us that we're in for a softer landing than we first thought in the second half of this year?
I don't believe it's possible. I'm going to say that. And look, I'd be happy to be surprised. Don't get me wrong. The only thing I want, Chris, is for Americans to have opportunities for economic success. So I very much want that safe and sound landing, but soft. I would say this. I don't know how it happens. I really don't. I don't think that you can print $6+ trillion and think that that's going to end well. I don't think you can have $31 trillion worth of debt and continue to run deficits like we have and think it's going to end well. I think at some point you're going to see a 2008 scenario unlike anything you have ever seen. Maybe we get through this. Maybe they kick the can down the road a little bit longer. But at some point, the you-know-what hits the fan, so to speak. because you can't print your way to prosperity. You cannot just continue to inflate.
You know, folks, we have to really work with Trish to get her to come out of her shell and just tell us what she really thinks. We're going to do that for next week's segment. But Trish Regan, it's always a pleasure seeing you. Thank you, lady.